Good morning. This is Thought for the Day for Wednesday, the 12th of March. My name is Kay. Today I have chosen the passage right at the end of Matthew's Gospel. It is short, but it is one of the most famous passages in the Bible, and it is known as the Great Commission. Then the 11 disciples went to Galilee, to the mountain where Jesus had told them to go. When they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. Then Jesus came to them and said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age." On Easter Sunday, in the service in Binstead, Christopher said that Jesus' resurrection on Easter Day was a commissioning story, that it compels us to go out and tell people about it and what Jesus' resurrection means to us all today. Jesus' death was not the last word then, and death is not the last word now. In Matthew's Gospel, this passage comes straight after the story of the resurrection, when Jesus appeared to Mary Magdalene and Mary, the wife of Clopas. Matthew does not complicate the story by recording the other appearances of Jesus in Jerusalem. This makes the connection between Jesus' resurrection and the Great Commission clear and immediate. I can't read this passage without my heart lifting with excitement. What an extraordinary challenge for us all. First of all, the 11 disciples obeyed Jesus and went to where he told them to meet him in Galilee, their familiar territory. For us today, obedience is also a prerequisite. I love the way that, although they naturally worshipped him, some doubted. This can also be translated as hesitated. This is also so natural. Maybe they hesitated, but it all seemed too good to be true after the trauma of Jesus' death. Maybe they were ashamed of their subsequent behaviour when they fled and hid from the authorities. They were imperfect human beings, but this did not prevent them obeying his command. A key message from the next part of the passage is the repetition of the word all 4 times. Jesus has been given all authority. The disciples are to make disciples of all nations. They must obey all things that Jesus has commanded them, and he will be with them always. All this applies equally to us today. The disciples were, and we are, commanded, not requested, to go out and make disciples, not just believers, not in our own strength, but empowered by Jesus' authority. And the authority in this passage is something new. On earth, Jesus was both fully human and fully divine, with authority given to him by God. Following his resurrection, Jesus is fully divine, equal in authority to God, both on earth and in heaven. During Jesus' lifetime, he spoke, preached, and healed almost entirely to the Jews living in Galilee, Samaria, or Jerusalem. But the disciples are now commanded to make disciples amongst all nations, whether Jews or Gentiles. The good news is for everyone, whatever our faith or lack of it. And in doing so, they and we must obey all things, everything that Jesus has commanded. And the primary command is to make disciples, not merely converts or supporters of a cause. Disciples learn and then put into practice what they have been taught, so that they can spread their faith, baptizing those whom they have converted, in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And finally, Jesus will be with us always, to the very end of the age. When Jesus said that to the first disciples, after his resurrection, it must have struck them as an extraordinary statement, almost incomprehensible, and yet wonderfully comforting. In the same way today, whatever might happen to us, as we fulfill Jesus' command to go out and make disciples, we can know that he is right beside us, and that we do so with his protection and in and with the power of the Holy Spirit. This Great Commission concludes Matthew's Gospel, but it was just the beginning for the first disciples, as they spread the good news wider and wider following Jesus' death. And in the centuries that followed, it spread all over the earth. So, as we try to follow Jesus' command, however imperfectly, let's trust in the power of his authority, knowing that he is right in it with us as we do so. I hope that you have a great day.